May 5th, 1945. The war in Europe has 3 days left to live. On the wall of a medieval castle in the Austrian Alps, an American tank commander loads his rifle. Beside him, shoulder to shoulder, stands a major of the German Wehrmacht, firing at the same enemy. Americans and Germans, fighting together, defending French prisoners against the SS. This is not fiction. This is the Battle of Castle Itter, the strangest battle of the Second World War. High above the Tyrolean village of Itter stands a 13th century castle. In 1943, the SS turned it into something unusual, a luxury prison for France's most famous captives. Behind its walls lived 2 former French prime ministers, Édouard Daladier and Paul Reynaud, who despised each other. 2 former army commanders, Generals Weygand and Gamelin, who weren't speaking either. A trade union leader, the sister of Charles de Gaulle, and Jean Borotra, a Wimbledon tennis champion. They were hostages of the Reich, valuable, and as Germany collapsed in the spring of 1945, expendable. By early May, the Third Reich was disintegrating. Hitler was dead, and at Castle Itter, the guards simply vanished into the night. The prisoners were free and in terrible danger. The forests of Tyrol were crawling with die-hard Waffen SS units, men with nothing left to lose, executing traitors and burning what remained. If the SS reached the castle, France's captive elite would not live to see the peace. The prisoners armed themselves with abandoned weapons and sent 2 messengers racing in opposite directions to find anyone who would help. One messenger found the Americans, Captain Jack Lee, a cigar-chewing tank commander from New York, leading a spearhead of the U.S. 12th Armored Division. Told that French 5IPs were about to be massacred in a castle, Lee didn't wait for permission. He took his Sherman tank, nicknamed Besotten Jenny, and just 14 men. The other messenger found a German, Major Josef Gangl, a decorated Wehrmacht officer who had secretly joined the Austrian resistance in the war's final days. Gangl had 10 soldiers still loyal to him, and a choice to make. He chose to fight beside the Americans. On the evening of May 4th at the castle gate, American GIs and German soldiers shook hands. Then they prepared to hold the walls together. At dawn on May 5th, they came. More than 100 Waffen SS with machine guns, mortars, and an 88mm gun. The defenders were a battle map gone mad. American riflemen at the windows, German soldiers on the ramparts, and between them, the prisoners of Castle Itter, 2 prime ministers, 2 generals, 10 a star, who refused to hide in the cellar, picked up rifles, and fought for their lives. The 88 found its mark. Besotten Jenny, the lone Sherman guarding the gate, erupted in flames. The walls began to crumble under mortar fire. Ammunition ran low. Then Major Gangl saw former Prime Minister Reynaud exposed in the open. He moved to pull him to safety, and a sniper's bullet found him. The German major died protecting a French prisoner from the SS. By early afternoon, the SS were at the walls. The radio was dead. So Jean Borotra, the Wimbledon champion, 56 years old, volunteered for the impossible. He vaulted the castle wall and sprinted through SS lines, dodging fire, to reach the American relief force. He made it. At 4 in the afternoon, American tanks of the 142nd Infantry smashed through the SS cordon. The siege collapsed. Over 100 SS soldiers surrendered. The prisoners of Castle Itter, every single one, walked free. 3 days later, the war in Europe was over. Captain Jack Lee received the Distinguished Service Cross. Josef Gangl was buried as a hero. Today, a street in the Austrian town of Vergl still carries his name, a German officer, honored for his last battle against his own former comrades. The Battle of Castle Itter changed nothing strategic, but it proved something rarer, that in the final hours of history's darkest war, the lines between enemy and ally could dissolve completely, and men who had spent 6 years killing each other could die defending one another. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe. Every week, we bring you the small battles history almost forgot. Next episode, 1939. A tiny garrison on the Baltic Peninsula was ordered to hold for 12 hours. They held for 7 days, as the first shots of World War II fell on Westerplatte.